Man, this is lifestyles of the poor and unfucking fortunate. But I tell you what, but bitch, we got views.
What's going on, everybody? Chad Arms TV. I figured I would do this video. I know I've done a few videos called Been Around series, but people have been hitting me up wanting me to do an interview basically talking about myself as far as how I got kind of the way I do other people. So I guess we'll just do that, man. You know, kind of piece these out, and I don't know what's going to come of them, but people have been kind of wanting to hear my story, and a lot of people aren't even familiar with how long I've been around in music and things like that. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee, but I've always resided in Springfield. It's always been my home, Springfield, Greenbrier. And I grew up very nice, very nice upbringing. Had both parents. Very, they're my role models. Very great people. The reason I am the person I am is because of my parents and how they raised me and how they taught me to be as a man and things like that. So, as far as music, getting into music for me, I'm not gonna lie, I was always into country music because I am born in the country. You know what I'm saying? Or right adjacent to the country. I'm in no means a country boy, but I am just born in that, in that way, the surroundings. So I used to always tell my mom and dad and my family that I wanted to become an Oak Ridge boy when I was get older. Now, Oak Ridge Boys is just an old country group, like an old classic country group. That's all they are. When I was a kid, that's what was played in my house, was Oak Ridge Boys and old country. You know what I'm saying? So I used to always perform at our family reunions, and I would sing Oak Ridge Boy songs or other country songs or whatever. And I always have been big into collecting. Anybody that knows me knows I have collecting problems. It goes back when I was a kid. I used to collect cassette tapes, audio cassette tapes. I used to collect sports cards, basketball, football, baseball cards. That's all I used to love doing that. So I used to just collect audio cassettes. When I was a kid, I was 10. It was probably the early 90s. I was born in 83, so I'm closing in on 38 this year. But that was my first introduction into music, was country music. John Michael Montgomery, George Strait, Tim McGraw, country music, Garth Brooks, Oak Ridge Boys, like I just brought up. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to be. Well, it was I was in the 6th grade, and I had always heard of rap, back in the day when I was a kid, but I never was allowed to have rap music because of the content, the lyrical content, the cussing and all that. Well, then I heard songs like Tag Team, Whoop There It Is, and shit like that. That was and of course I heard Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, obviously. Fat Boys. My first rap song that I can remember listening to and thought it was the coolest song ever was Fat Boys' Baby You're a Rich Man, which was on the Disorderly soundtrack. Shout out to Disorderlies. But that's what I got into. That's when I first got into music. That's when I first got into rap music. I'd first heard it was the Fat Boys, Baby You're a Rich Man. And then I heard, those Jock Jam CDs. That was the closest to rap Chatty Bobby could get when he was a kid. And they would sprinkle in Tootsie Roll and Whoop There It Is and shit like that. But it wasn't until I was in the 6th grade in 1996 when I heard Bone Thugs-n-Harmony perform Crossroads at the MTV Music Awards, MTV Video Music Awards, whatever. They performed it live. You could probably go back on YouTube and find they were all wearing white suits. It was epic. I had never heard the song before. My sister was watching it because she's 3 or 4 years older than me. So she was in high school at the time. I was in 6th grade. Had these, not glasses like this, but I had bottle cap glasses. That was before I got contacts. Woo! So I heard Bone Thugs-n-Harmony Easy sees Uncle Charlie, little bootin' guys got him, and I'm gonna miss everybody. And I just was like, what is this? This is the greatest thing I've ever had my ears hear before. So then I was able to get a copy of the Bone Thugs and Harmony East 1999 CD, but it was the edited version, which, you know how that goes. The edited version is everything's bleeped. But at least I was able to get that. And as time progressed, let's fast forward a couple of years. I started when I was old enough to get a job, 1999, in 2000. I started working at a place called Media Play, 2001. Well, I was a junior in high school when I started working there. And my obsession with rap music took over my life. I mean, I bought every rap CD that came out every week because I got like a 40% discount working there. So on New Release Tuesday, whatever rap CDs came out, I bought every one of them. Because I didn't have any bills. I had my car insurance. That's all I had to pay. I didn't have a cell phone. That's how old this is. And I just collected CDs. I probably had 700 rap albums. And every single week, I would buy everything. And Bone Thugs was my favorite. Bone Thugs and 3 6 Mafia were my favorites. Because Bone Thugs, I would buy the albums and study the liner notes. You know, I was a nerd like that. Who produced all their tracks? You know, the shout outs and thank yous like Lil White talked about. And because Bone rapped so fast, I would go onto the internet, which was new at the time, and look up the song lyrics to their music. And would just read and study all the lyrics. And then I started finding albums from Bone that I didn't know existed, like Faces of Death. There was a band album that they never even actually put out in stores. The Art of War, you know, when that double album came out, Creeping on the Come Up, and then Thug Mentality and Crazy Bone. I was obsessed with Bone Thugs, bro. And that's what really got me into rap music. And of course, 3 6 Mafia. Then I started finding out about all the local shit, like Memphis rap, 3 6 Mafia, Kingpin, Skinny Pimp, Play a Fly, Gangsta Black, all that, you know. And as years went by, it's 2002, okay, my senior year in high school. And I had already been studying rap music, and I called myself DJ Chadro because it was back when burning CDs was brand new. And I was burning mixed CDs for people and slanging them at school and all that. And I was just obsessed with rap. Anybody knew, because I went to Greenbrier High School, bro. Nobody, there was like, it was all white kids. There was 2 or 3 black kids per class. So it was nobody knew what rap music was like that. Everybody was just like country boy, stuff like that. But they knew I was the one to go to for the rap music. So that went to that, and then people started telling me I would freestyle, and it was always terrible. But I freestyled with my friends in high school. We just make fun of each other and stuff like that, and it wasn't good. But then the talent show came around my junior year, and me and my friend Jade, who was one of the only people in the school that listened to rap like me and her did Big Timers. We performed Big Timers, Number One Stunner, and Get Your Roll On at the talent show my junior year in high school. Nobody had ever performed a rap song in Greenbrier, right? And it went good or whatever. Well, the next year, my senior year, I performed Bubba Sparks' Ugly at the talent show, and the fucking roof came off of it. It was my first taste of like, holy shit, this is unbelievable. Now, granted, it was just me rapping Bubba Sparks' lyrics, but I did that, and that's what got me hooked. Because I was like, oh my God, I can perform and people like it, even though it's not my shit. I'll start writing my own shit. So that's what I did. You know, so 2002, 2003 is when I started rapping. Started writing my own raps and was recording on my little computer mic at my house. I started rapping with some dudes, my buddy Dustin and my buddy Brandon, Casper and Wicked, Ghost Unlimited and Wicked, and Waves the Rapper. If you've seen those on my features, they're the same people who I went to school with. And we just started writing, we started making mixtapes, stuff like that. And again, this was 2003. So there was no MySpace, Facebook, social media wasn't a thing. You burned CDs and you'd go sit at the mall and try not to get kicked out. We did that for a while. And then I started doing music. I did music with my buddy Matt, who is Smoke Corleone. And he helped get me going, put out my first official album. Salute to Smoke. He's always been instrumental. Smoke and The Truth, BJ Suter, The Truth, who's one of my close buddies to this day. Those two were very instrumental in me wanting to rap too, because I would go to CD Warehouse locally here in town and see their CDs on the shelf, and I thought they were famous. I didn't know. This was before I even really started rapping, so they were another thing that was instrumental in my music career. I did a solo album that Smoke put out for me that you know, at the time I liked. Looking back, my parts were terrible, but I thought you couldn't tell me it wasn't dope back then. Me and him did a double disc album called Thunder and Lightning that we never officially put out. I put a lot of those songs on my streaming platform now. You can go back and listen to it, but it's like 2003 stuff. So did that, and around 2004 I started doing things on my own. Me and Smoke always have been cool. I just started doing things on my own. And so I put out my first album in 2004 called Man with the Plan, and which I put a few of those songs on streaming platforms, like mixed in with some of my other music. The whole album I didn't put up because it's not good, but a few of the songs I still like enough to put out, you know what I mean? But I remember, as far as getting started in music, that's what got me up to starting music. In 2004 is when I put out Man with the Plan. And Man with the Plan, I started working closely with a group of people. My buddy BJ, who was the truth at the time. My buddy Pudgy, my buddy Brandon E, my buddy Rage, my buddy Casper, my buddy Wicked. We all linked up and we formed something called Lyrical Royalty Entertainment that Pudgy came up with. Shout out to Pudgy, that's my dog. And we was a deep group, man. We had a lot of people. Shout out to my boy Los. Shout out to Bonafide. There was a whole group of us, and we were really starting to make a little noise, you know, independently. They were from Pudgy, Brandon, and Rage, and Los, and Bonafide. All of them were from Cross Plains. And myself and Wicked and Casper were from Greenbrier, and BJ was from Springfield. But we all linked up, and we just started working. We just started putting out independent projects, you know. And in 04, Man with the Plan, and then 05, then I did an album called Walk With Me after that. But that was all under Lyrical Royalty Entertainment. And we were just pushing, man. We were all pushing each other. That's when I got my first taste of performing shows. I did a 1 or 2, I think, with Smoke at some armories. And I was terrible. Smoke was good, but I was just new to all of it, man. Well, we started doing that. We started pushing that music. And that's really what got me started into music. That's me, you know, growing up and then leading up to 2005. And in 2005, you know, I had put out a project in the June of 2005 called Something Special, the Prequel, which was a mixtape. And the mixtape was just a prequel to the album. And I had some features on there. I had some features from Mario Moore. I had some features with Styx, the people from Lyrical Royalty that I talked about. And then I dropped my first, what I like to call my first official solo album, November of 2005, which was called Something Special. You can actually see that on all streaming platforms too. That one is what I really feel like was my first solo project that I pushed. I got bunches of copies made. Shout out to Tony Delano. He started doing my artwork. He's going to be featured on the channel as well. He's done artwork for everybody. He did all Worms artwork. He's going to start doing Leroy's. He's done all of Lex's. He's done stuff for Bone Thugs and Harmony. He's done huge projects. You're going to see Tony Delano from Cairo Inc. on the Chat Arms TV platform, because he's very instrumental in what got me moving as an artist. But I feel like Something Special album is really what kind of started things for me. This was still Lyrical Royalty Entertainment. We were still pushing. And, you know, that's the first album where I felt like, holy shit, I think I may be able to do this. I think I'm good enough to where this may work some. And that's when we started doing shows and things like that. So I guess we'll end this first part, but that's basically just me kind of giving you an idea as to how I got into music, how I grew up, who got me into music, and the group that I started with. Now, part 2, I'll talk about Show and Prove Entertainment when I started that. I started that in 2006, and we'll kind of go into that, and I'll kind of, you know, get into the details with that. But I figured people have been wanting me to do this story like this, and it's easier for me to just do it than have somebody ask me, because I know enough about what, you know what I mean? So I figured I would do it this way. So hopefully y'all enjoy it. Like I said, this is part 1. I don't know how many parts it'll be, but yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. Peace.